time is it? Yeah, you know, it's time to grow. It's a different one from me today. So any ladies that follow me, this one is for the gents, but you could send this video to your boyfriend, your brother, your husband, whatever. Yeah. So today we're talking about how I trim my beard and also how I trim my hair bald. So any of you guys out there that's receding and cut your hair bald, I'm going to show you how I do it. So I've been out for a few weeks. I had an eye operation. They want to record no videos with my eye looking scary. Still hasn't fully recovered yet. But today we're going to talk about how I cut my beard. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So first of all, I'm going to start with my hair. Okay, so generally speaking, I cut my beard and hair every 2 to 3 days, right? If I'm unorganized, it might be 4 days. But after my eye operation, like I mentioned at the beginning, didn't want to get any hair in my eye. My eye was quite sore, I had to protect it, etc. So I haven't cut my hair for a couple of weeks or more, yeah? Right, so first of all, generally I cut my hair with a razor. But because it's been so long, look how thick it is. I cannot cut it with a razor this thick. So first of all, I'm going to need clippers to cut my hair. So we're going to start off with my hair. I'm going to cut it with clippers. Once I've got the hair down to a 0, then I'm going to cut my beard, right? So how I'm going to cut my beard, first of all, is I'm going to brush it out, right? And then I'm going to level it out maybe on an number 8, right? And then I'm going to attempt to fade. Now, I'm not a barber, but I'm going to show you how I do my best to cut down the fade, right? So remember that my head's going to be bald. So I'm going to do that with my beard, right? Try shape up the moustache and that. Look, the moustache is kind of thick, right? And then, right, once I finish with the clippers, I'm going to go to the razor. Now, I'm going to tell you what razor I use at the time. So I'm going to then cut my hair completely bald with a razor and then cut these bits, yeah, right? You know, some guys talk about how thick their beard is. Mine goes right up to my eye. Whose beard goes up to their eye? Anyway, so let's get to it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to cut the ears and the no hairs as well. You know, when you get a bit older, you get all that bit, you get all hairs everywhere where you don't want it. So we're going to cut those as well. And then I'm going to show you the finished article. So let's get to it. Right, so I'm going to start off by trimming my hair with the clippers, right? So all the products I'm going to use, I'm going to try and put a link to them in the description. This I've had for a while, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find this one. But some of the other products I use, I'm going to put a link in the description, right? So I don't normally, you know, cut my hair with my clothes on, but I don't want to get naked for you guys. You know, YouTube might ban the video. Right, so switch it on. Can you hear it? You can hear the vibrating? Right, so what I'm going to start doing is literally just trimming. Look. Taking my hair off, right? So I'm going to do that all over, and it's going to get to a 0. But we're going to finish it later on with the razor to make it clean. One thing I forgot to tell you is make sure you oil the blades on clippers, yeah? So make sure you get oil to oil the blades before you start cutting your hair. But use one of these coarse brushes to dust all the hair off, and then use one of these soft brushes to get all the hair off yourself. I'm sure you've all been barbers many times and you've seen them do that. So make sure you get one of these. And one of these for when you're doing your own hair. Right, so I want to use this product. This is the second time ever I'm using this product. It's called a Beard Mate. This is to line up the curve. Now, so what have I been doing my whole life? I've been actually like doing the line myself, but now I'm going to use this, which is going to make it perfect. I did mess up a bit the first time I used it because this slid a bit. So when you use this, you got to make sure that you have it in the exact position you want it, and then once you've got in the position you want it, then you need to make sure your hand is steady. So when you're cutting, yeah, the best thing to do is get someone else to do it for you. Maybe your girlfriend, maybe your brother, if you're not getting it done at the barber. But this video is all about home self-care. Also, before I start, another thing, yeah, so you got to think how your beard looks, because not everyone's beard grows as high as mine. But even though my beard grows high, yeah, I've still got this unwanted dip that a lot of people have. Some people are lucky not to have the dip, so you got to decide how low you're going to bring down the beard. Because if your dip is low, it may look a bit silly. But for this video, I'm going to cut higher than the dip. And let's see, obviously you can see I've got bits of hair growing there, but anyway, let's get into it. All right, so I've got it lined up how I want it. Whether it's perfect or not, who knows? Let's see what it looks like at the end. So I'm going to use a smaller T-cut. It's not the greatest, but Yeah, I'll put a link in the description if I find out the product. Yeah. What I always do every time I do my hair, yeah, with the clippers, is I take the moustache down to a number 1. It might seem a little low, yeah, but my moustache grows back quickly, so I always just take it down to a number 1. Yeah, and any thicker, it just starts looking like it's creating its own kind of world, yeah. So what I'm gonna start. I've got a number 1 guard on the clipper, like proper number 1, yeah, and then I'm gonna just take that moustache from the curve, yeah. So watch carefully. Don't dip into the beard now. Just this bit here, right up to here, yeah. Just take that down to number 1. See, look, it's looking kind of short in it compared to the beard, but trust me, it's the right thing. And also my hair don't grow that thick either, so might look a bit more naked. Now, because I'm not a barber, this is the hardest part of it all. This is the hardest part of it all. Yeah? So, some people might say don't try this at home, but the hardest part I'm talking about is the fade. The fade. I'm not a barber, so this bit is always difficult. I've messed it up many times, but how I do the fade, what I want to do, I'm going to take, what I normally do, yeah, to fade the beard is I use markers. So I use different parts of my ears as a marker. You can use the beard mate if you want, but I'm used to just making up markers using different lines of my ears. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it down a number 1, and then I'm going to use half and 0 to kind of try and fade it up, and we'll get there somehow. So right now, I'm just taking it down a bit on the number 1 to about here. Get rid of them grey hairs. So obviously it's not really looking like a fade right now. Right, so now I've taken off the 1 guard. So this is the scary part. So as you can see here, it's 0. So 0 is pretty much bald, yeah. But it moves, yeah. Can't remember what they call it, but yeah, you move it so it's not actual 0. So I'm gonna start cutting down using that, and then I'll change it. I've got another pair of clippers that I haven't got with me today where it actually clicks, so there's like 4 different points, but this one is like free moving. So I'll move it all the way up first, and then watch me. So now, I'm taking it not as far down. And you got to position it in a certain angle. So when you're getting close, so when you're going more down, you're not pushing it as much on the hair. You kind of tilting it a bit. But if you want detailed advice on fading, I recommend you go and check out a proper barber's video. It's going to take me a while, so we're going to catch up and I'll show you the finished product in a second. Right, so what I'm doing, you can see the fade actually not that great, so yeah, you might need to look at some other tutorials to see how to fade a bit. And also, because when barbers fade their hair, they've got the clippers that way. Obviously, when you've got a braided in that way, but the hair's still going in the same direction, so there's an argument which way you should do the fade, which way you should have the clippers. But anyway, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna actually shorten the length of my beard, because I do want it to grow out, but at the same time I do want it to be even. So I'm using a brush to brush it down, and then right now I'm gonna use the Afro comb to comb it out, and see how messy or tidy it looks when I comb it out. Then I'll decide whether I want to trim it down. Because on one hand, I want it to be neat, but on the other hand, I want it to grow. So I don't want to be cutting it all the time, you know what I mean? So joking at myself with the comb. Alright, so now I've used the Afro comb, you can see it's got a bit more volume. It's still semi-locked down, and I still want it to grow more, so I might not bend down the size. But what I normally do is put like a 6 or an 8 guard and then just shave it all over. At the end, what I might do is just get a scissors and just like snip any of the visible loose bits, but apart from that, I'm not going to take it down. So right now it's time to get busy with the razor. Oh yeah, but before we go to the razor, one thing is you gotta make sure you, if you got any nose hair and hair in your ears, you gotta get rid of it. Yeah, so I use one of these. I used to use the clippers as well, just literally turn the clippers in your nose and doing it. Either way works. This is just a bit more tidy. It's wool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the link for that and to put in the description. But listen, so it's like the clippers really. So back in the day, I used to use Gillette foam, but then I started using Bump Patrol many years ago because I used to have shaving bumps. I don't really get shaving bumps anymore, but I still use Bump Patrol. Maybe that's why I don't get shaving bumps anymore, because I'm still using the product that I started to use when I had shaving bumps. So what I do, first of all, is I wet my head and face. Would normally do my neck as well, but I'm letting this grow for now. So then, bit of squeezy. It's nice and clear at first. Rub it together and it starts getting all white. Cover the head, blood. Cover the head. Cover the bits that we're gonna shave, because although I brought the hair down with the clippers, it's not fully shaved to the skin. You need a razor for that. Right, so I'm gonna put it on a bit for the moustache. I'm gonna shape up. Yeah. Put a bit on this line here as well. We're gonna try and get it all nice and neat. Not gonna look like the barber's butt. We're gonna try and get as close as possible. So get all that in there. It makes the razor glide nicely. Alright, wash this off. So what I use is Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Power. Now the reason why it says power at the end, because it's actually got a battery in it. So this is, you probably can't hear the vibrations, but it's like a razor, yeah? If I was just shaving my face, I'd probably use one of them cheap Bic or whatever razors. But when I'm going over my whole head, I need the best of the best, and I find this is the best product. So it's got 5 blades. It's got that little, you see that little green thing there? It's like some smooth kind of gel thing. So it like, I hardly cut. I think I've cut myself once or twice with this, and that's because I was being crazy at the time. So you're probably thinking, why am I doing the top when there's no hair there anyway? But just getting the cream off. Keep rinsing it. So what I do, because I like my head to be smooth, so what I do is I cut it once with the grain, and then I go all over it again against the grain. So let's continue. Now, this is the health and safety part of the video. Right, so this, I don't even know what this is called here, but this holds the blade here. Look, it's all rusty, so I need a new one. But you know the little blades that the barbers use to shape up? Like, so you put the blades in here. I'll put a link down to the description, because I think I used to pay, back in the day, like £3 for a pack of 10. But I found some pack of, I think, 100 on Amazon for a really cheap price. So I'm going to put the link in the description. So what I'm going to do with this is just neaten up the line. I'm not, you see the way I've used a stencil for the line? I'm not going to touch it too much that way. I'm just going to take away the hairs that way very carefully. And I'm going to shape up my moustache, yeah? So let's go. You gotta be real careful with this blade. Keep them out of reach of children as well. I've cut myself many times with this. Yeah, so as you see, I've like taken away the little bits of hair, neaten up the moustache a bit. Again, not perfect like barbers, but then there's this bit here, which you gotta be careful. So I'm gonna try and neaten up this bit just above the lip. Nice and careful. Right, so another product, it's been around for a while, but I literally have only just got it recently and used it once or twice actually. You could basically lie about how dark your hair is. So, but it makes it look nice and fuller, yeah? So literally, right, I'm not gonna do it too close to the line because then I need to go back at it with the blade and I don't wanna mess up the line after using the stencil, right? But you could basically darken your hair by just spraying that lightly, yeah? Don't know if you could see it. Right, so this is another thing to make your beard prominent, yeah? So this white pencil. So I ordered it from some barber section on Amazon, but it's actually eyeliner. Link in the description nevertheless, yeah? But basically, I'm sure you guys have seen barbers use this before, especially if you watch barbers online on YouTube. But it's just to make the line prominent. So you basically just follow the line. And I know some people might smooth it in and that after. Yeah, so you see the white line? So it makes the beard more prominent. So although my line wasn't too perfect, as you can see, the line makes it look a bit more perfect. So obviously if you're going out in the evening, out for a meal, out to the club, out to the bar, whatever, your beard is gonna look a lot more prominent. Obviously the line's gonna rub off as the evening wears on and the next morning or whatever, but it helps, yeah? So all of you out there who wanna do some home hair cutting to your beard, and if you're cutting your hair bald and that, hopefully this video has helped. One more little thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the scissors to trim the sort of loose sticking out hairs. So let's go. So I've got my little scissors here. Most barbering scissors come with this little thing for your other finger to guide. So most clippers will come with scissors inside it. So what I'm gonna do here is just literally cut off the excess little bits of hair so that it looks a little bit more neater. It's not gonna look as neat as the professional barbers, but so that's it. That's how I trim my beard, and that's how I trim my head bald. Still trying to grow my beard at the moment. I used to cut it really low, but now I'm growing it. I was kind of against this neck thing, but I'm just letting the neck bit grow, so when this bit grows out, the neck bit will be covered, so it will all kind of blend in. So I know it's a different kind of video today. Obviously, if you want professional barbering tutorials, there's loads of them out there on YouTube. But if you are interested in seeing like the progress of my beard or me trimming my hair or whatever, if you want any more videos like this, comment down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you feel that you need to share it with someone that is spending too much money on just cutting their beards at the barber, you can get the job done at home. Practice makes perfect. That's it for myself. Continue to grow, and I'll see you on the next video.